In this episode of the Untold Journey, I sit down with Mark, the man behind Mark's Pizza, a business known for its delicious handmade recipes, strong community presence, and commitment to quality. Mark isn't just making pizza, he's crafting an experience, running a thriving business, and building a brand that keeps customers coming back for more. So, grab a slice, sit back, and let's listen to the story. How do you feel about pineapples on your pizza?
I love it.
You love it? How do you feel when everyone says, "Oh, pineapple shouldn't be on pizza. Pineapple should be on pizza"?
I just say to them it's up to you. You don't have to get it. You can get it. Whatever you want to do. It's funny. We don't have it as a menu item.
Yeah.
We have it as a rotating special. We do a pineapple chow, which is like garlic, salt, pepper, jalapenos, pineapple, and that's mixed together, and we put that on the pizza. But I try to one of the reasons I don't have too much on my menu is just so there's not much waste. Because the more stuff you start adding, if people don't order it, you're screwed, right? You gotta throw it out,
get it out,
which I hate to do.
But when it comes to your menu, it's always different.
We have 2 specials every week. Yeah,
you always switch it. How does that come about? You just oh, today I'm just gonna try this. Next day I put something.
I got that from, I think I told you about Pizzeria Badia, Joe Badia, that book. That was kind of his philosophy too, and I really like that. I think he might have had one or two, I can't remember, but it's turned into 2 for us, and it's just, we try to do seasonal stuff. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but we have our I wouldn't say basic, but we have our standard pizzas that we do, our specials, and then we just kind of rotate them in and out. And if something at one of my suppliers, they're "Oh, we have this week," I'm okay, well, let's try to figure that, if we can, how to integrate into the menu.
For the specials, do they ever come back, or is one time?
They always rotate. So our brisket pizza that we do with Northern Smokes, we do a collab with them. That one's every month-ish or 2. We do a vodka sauce pizza, which is a little bit more frequent. And the pineapple chow one, same thing, probably every month or so. My wife keeps telling me have a rotation every month. It's this. I'm I can't do that. If I don't feel like doing that one week or whatever, it switches. And then in the summer we do a corn pizza with tomatoes, basil, lemon, olive oil, roasted corn. That one's August, end of July, August. Then peach season, we do a peach pizza. And then asparagus in the spring. So we try to do seasonally, but sometimes it doesn't work out.
So you try all these pizzas and you're yeah, I like this, let's do something. Or you're or you give it to one of your staff members, what do you think about this? Should we add, should we take out some stuff? Or
well, yeah, I ask for people for feedback, but for the most part it's kind of everything in my shop is what I like. People are get anchovies. I'm I don't really like anchovies or whatever. They a lot of people have suggestions, I'll tell you that. But you just be okay, yeah, thanks. Appreciate it.
What's the craziest suggestion you got?
We had a few people want a Thanksgiving pizza.
So put turkey, gravy,
potato, mashed potatoes, I guess. Stuffing. I saw it. My wife sent me an Instagram recipe of one, and it actually looked half decent, but we don't use any chicken or turkey. I find most places that use chicken, it's the preformed chicken, pizza or whatever. It's the pre-cooked, and that's not really what we do. So chicken dries out quick. So if we did it, it'd have to be probably chicken thighs, and we'd have to do some serious testing on it, just see what would work. But I don't know, maybe one day.
What would be your favorite pizza?
Our 6B. So it has anything spicy I love. So this one has pepperoni, fresh garlic, Calabrian chilies, basil, and hot honey.
Oh,
sounds
delicious.
And on a Roman dough that we do at lunch for slices. That's my favorite pizza.
Yeah, you were talking to me about your entrepreneurial journey.
Yeah.
Right? So you started something, and then you started another thing, and then you started your pizza shop.
Yeah.
How did that come about?
The pizza shop? Or just in general?
Just your entrepreneurial journey.
I don't even, I've always wanted to start my own things. I don't know if I told you, my mom was a secretary for a stockbroker downtown when we were little, and I would always ask her to type up these not business plans, but like a not a menu either. It's like kind of like a sheet of like something I could sell or something like that. Like just always had the idea of like doing some kind of business. I never actually did any of it. It was all just like fun stuff she typed up at work. But I've always had my own business. A lot of time, like when I see something and I'm like, that looks like a great idea or a great product, I'm always like, oh. Or something I like things I like to do, like cooking I love to do. So that was kind of a natural. I'm always like, I wonder if I can do a business with that. Like I'm into mountain biking now. Like just during the pandemic, me and my buddy started mountain biking. Logan that works with me, he comes out too. And I'm like, I wonder if there's something I can do with business mountain biking, but that's a tough, that's a tough thing.
Maybe selling bikes.
Yeah, that's the bike industry. Like it was amazing during COVID, but now it's tricky because the bikes are so expensive. And like typically you buy one, you don't need one for like a little while. So
you started your pizza restaurant because you loved cooking, or
I love
was there
cooking, I
like
love pizza.
Anyway, was there any inspiration? Like, did someone cook it for
So
you, or
I don't know if we talked about this previously. So Joe Badia, that guy. So I was in my photography business. Fro Knows Photos is the photographer. He was in Philadelphia. He used to go down to Pizzeria Badia and get pizza, and I saw them like, that looks like the best pizza ever. And then Joe Badia released a cookbook, and I got it the first day I could and made some pizza for the whole family. And I tried it. I was like, I got to make something like this here. So I guess you could say my whole business kind of based off that cookbook.
okay?
A lot of things, I would say there's a few things that are the same now, but everything's kind of evolved a little bit to put our spin on it. Like the dough is similar, not the same. Sauce is similar. So a lot of things, but like this whole philosophy of like using what you like, the fresh ingredients you can, using local vendors, spotlighting local vendors. I think it's a good business model. It's worked out really well for us.
So that was the main reason why you got into
that pizza. Yeah, this pizza, because I've always like, we used to go to Pizza Nova. It's okay, but like finding a really good pizza, I couldn't find it. So again, that's one of the things. Like if I can't find something, I'll be like, okay, there's an opportunity here. Let's give it a try.
So what makes you different from other pizza stores?
Like I said before, like you can pretty much find anything on the internet. So it's not like I have any special secrets or sauce or anything like that. It's kind of putting my spin, like what I like, out there. And if people like it, then they like it. If they don't come back. But it's a lot of like pasta recipes. That's where I get a lot of my ideas from. Lots of different things. Like you see Instagram posts about like a shop in New York or something like that does is doing a pizza one way, and you're like, oh, okay, that might work. With the pineapple chow pizza I was just describing, I was reading a Bon Appetit magazine. I used to have a subscription to that, and they profiled somebody that they used to make from, I can't remember, it was from the Caribbean, and that's a common thing there. Like chow, it's basically any kind of fruit mixed with like garlic and salt and pepper and some kind of spice. And that's kind of a thing that they do. Like and a lady actually came in, she's like, where'd you get that idea for chow? I was like, oh, I'm in trouble here. She's going to be like, why are you using that? But she was like, my family used to make it all the time. And it was basically just like any of the fruit that fell from the tree that was ripe, they chop it up and use it. So that's, I think, I don't know, as far as uniqueness, our business model is unique. Like how many days we're open. We only do a certain amount of pizzas a day. I guess that kind of creates like a demand, I guess you could say. But if I could make more pizzas, I'd love to, but it's just, you get burnt out after a while, I find. Then I lose, like when it was just me and like two other people, like I found like I was in there all the time, like from 9 till 9, and after a while it's just got too much. And I found my product suffered not the quality of it, but just like the creativity of it. It was just like, I don't have any more brain power to figure out what we're doing this week. Let's just do this or this. So
Yeah. So when it gets like stressful, like when you're doing the 9 to 9 every single day, right? Or whenever you guys
Yeah.
open. And same thing, like after hours, you're probably over there. Even today, you were
Yeah.
at your dough.
Yeah.
So when that's happening, hasn't there? Aren't there some times that like, oh, I want to quit? It's like, yo, I don't want to be here anymore. It's like, yo, I just want to go home, spend the time with the family. Like,
Yeah,
what keeps you motivated to keep on going?
I don't know, like money. That's a huge thing. Like, yeah, like my previous businesses didn't do great, and I learned a ton from them. Like, not to do too much too fast. Like right now, we do like if we're releasing new products, kind of slow, give it away if we need to, let people try it, get some feedback, and then kind of roll it out slowly. But I don't know if there's ever been a time where I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. And I love the people too. That like my staff is great, the customers are awesome. Now that I'm not working as much like at night, I miss them. It's and like seeing them happy, that's a huge motivation for me. Yeah.
So how's it managing your team? How do you find someone that is like, oh, this person, I know he'll be a great fit here. I mingle with this person.
You never really know, I guess, but you just, another thing from Gary Vee, it's like his philosophy is like he'll hire anybody, and if it works, great. If not, you got to cut him loose. And we've had, I wouldn't say we've had anybody bad. We've had people that didn't get a great vibe from, some like, and it was not long term, so they were only in for a short time, and they left, and that was fine. And still on good terms with everybody that's ever worked for me. But it is tricky to find or to manage your staff. Different personalities, different needs. Like we have this one kid, Logan. Well, he's not a kid anymore. He's 21. He's worked with me since he was like 15. And when we did pop-ups, his mom came to one pop-up with her friends, and then I put a post out on Instagram that or Facebook that I needed looking to hire like a student, and she's like, he'll work. And we did a first one, me, him, and my mom at a pop-up at the West Rouge Community Center, and just basically a tent, my oven, selling slices there. And he's worked with me ever since.
Was that one of the challenges, like one of your biggest challenges, you would say, like to hire people?
It is now.
Just like finding employees to help out.
We don't have a shortage of people coming in looking for jobs. It's more like they have to be like, I don't know, just a feeling I get kind of when I talk to them. Like some people, you can like, they're not very polite, or they're kind of like, I need cash. I'm like, well, sucks to be if we're not doing that. And you can tell, like, we have two students from Colombia that work for us, and then 2 students from India that work with us. And we've been pretty lucky. They've all been amazing. And some of those are done school soon, which makes me sad too, because I love having them working. They're all hard workers. Like, everybody's pretty good. But it's just kind of keeping everybody happy. Time off. Like right now, Logan, that's working with me, he's taking 2 weeks. He's going to Australia with his mom. And then Camilla, one of the Colombian students, is going back to Colombia for 3 weeks. And then somebody else is doing something. So I have a lot of nieces and nephews work with me too. And my daughter works with us. And sometimes they have hockey. Sometimes they're going to Mexico with their family. Sometimes they have school. And it's just kind of one of those things where you just have to juggle it and kind of make the best of it. And if anybody can't, like, if it doesn't work out, I work. So
I can see, like, the time that I came to your place, like, I can see how vibrant it was. Like, everyone was fun. Like, everyone was inviting me in. Right? Just give me, like, some props, say hello, hi. Right? Even when I was talking to you, you know, you were there with a big smile. Every question you listened and you just kept going with it.
We try, like, I think that's a big part of why we're successful too. Like, even if your pizza, you have a bad day, if you treat people right, you're gonna get more leeway. Rather, if you're not too nice to them, their food sucks, you're like, I'm never going back there again.
The first thing I notice when I see Mark's Pizza is your sign. So can you tell me your story behind your side?
So that was, my daughter did that when she was 8. So she's going to be 15. So 7 years ago-ish. And she did that. We needed a sign for one of our pop-ups that we did. She's like, you want me to make you one? I'm like, sure. So she did it. on paper, just hand drew it, and then she stuck it on a pizza or on a shoebox, and then put a paper towel holder on the bottom, and we just kind of stuck it up. And we still have it at the shop, and I scanned, like when I was actually starting to do the business, I scanned it and digitized it, and
Yeah, it's very unique compared to everyone else
Yeah.
behind there.
yeah, like I think I told you, it's like when I look at it sometimes I'm like, that's ridiculous, but I don't care.
Yeah, everyone else tries
I
to
love
look
it.
like that simplistic, the minimalistic type of feel.
Yeah.
Right, but yours is just, it's from the heart.
Yeah,
So
and I think it matches the vibe at our shop too.
100%, everyone there is just like,
Yeah.
they're giving their heart
Mhm.
for every single pizza that they.
Yeah, and it doesn't happen all the time. There's sometimes where it's like people have a bad day, but I think I try to instill it in everybody. Like, you just have to make, like, when I tell Logan, it's kind of a dumb thing, but it's true. It's like, we're in the smiles business. We want to make people smile when they come, have a good experience. You're gonna get some people that are grumpy. You just try to just do your best and kind of.
So what do you do if you get some negative feedback, some negativity like towards your, I don't know, let's say social media, or even when customers come to your
Initially, it makes me crazy because I'm like I get my back up and I'm like, oh, but then you got to think about it, what they're saying. Is there some truth to it? Because we don't do everything right. We screw up. We screwed up quite a bit. Burn pizzas here. Don't do the proper thing here or there. And it happens. Most people, if you kind of explain it to them and say, listen, like, our apologies. Here's a refund, or your next pizza's on us. Most of the time people are good. Like, we've had a few like 1-star reviews, and I always respond to them, because if they felt like that coming, then they might be having a bad day, but there's always a little bit of truth. Maybe there's something we didn't do that we should have done. And everything at the shop is my responsibility. Even if I'm not there and somebody does something, if somebody screws up, like, I haven't taught or shown them the proper way, given them the proper feedback on how to handle something. So that's one thing I try to do. Like, I know it sucks sometimes, because sometimes it's just people screw up and it happens. But like, if we're missing something and people should have put it on the whiteboard that I have to get, and I don't get like the produce or whatever, I'm like, okay, you got to put it on the board, but I have to make sure, like, that's my responsibility to make sure that they know this and take responsibility for it. But in the end, everything comes down to me.
So yeah, that's probably like a lot of stress on you, right?
Yeah.
If you get those type of reviews, even not reviews, but like those day-to-day essentials that you need, like for produce to people coming in, like you go through a lot because you changed from where you were before. So you were in your photography business. Yeah, you're a photography business, and then now you came into this, right?
Yeah.
How has your life changed? How has your work-life balance that changed, and do you see like the different type of success from then to now?
It's better now because this business is actually making money. I'm paying myself a salary. It's not a ton, but there's a lot of benefits to opening a food business, whereas like for your groceries and phone and transportation and all the rest of that stuff. So that's been a benefit. And just having that makes life at home easier. My wife's a teacher and she's been amazing. Like, probably wouldn't have been able to open up a shop if she didn't have such a stable income. So it just helps with that. It takes a little pressure off her. Like, we have money to go on some vacations now, which is good. And that all contributes to being a little happier. Not that we weren't happy before, but it's just less stress.
As a business owner,
Yeah.
right? Where do you see yourself in like 5 to 10 years?
It depends on the day. I'm always thinking of opening up another location.
Okay.
Whether I want to do that or want to take that risk.
What's stopping you from making
Money's a huge thing.
making the trigger?
Because do you know the Well?
Yes.
So they tried to get a smaller pizza place in there. I think they asked a few other places. They asked us, but it was like the rent was like $13,500 a month. That's a lot of pizza, and the build out was like $200,000. And I'm like,
So wait, 200 grand just to rent it out?
Just the build out. So like putting your oven in there, the counters, blah, blah, your floors, all that stuff. And that was them splitting it with us. It was like an insane amount per square foot. I was like, what are you guys doing? Like,
oh my God.
that's insane. And they're like, we'll pay half. I'm like, oh, awesome. It's still expensive. So I would have to have gotten investors. I don't really want to franchise because like, I like controlling like what happens. Just because it is like, it's my name on the store. It's been built of how I like things. And I know it's like a little vain of me, I guess you could say, to want to think I know what's best for everything.
No, but it's your pizza. It kind of makes sense.
Yeah,
it makes total sense. So it's all about you. It's your pizza.
Yeah,
you're the one that created this.
So I want it how I want it. Maybe another location or two, but it'll have to be like. That's the tricky part because anytime places open another location, it kind of sucks or it's not as good. And then because a lot of the times we get some of our produce from smaller vendors. And once you expand, like the unique stuff that you can't get that for two stores. Like, cause sometimes, like for example, there's these potatoes called Huckleberry Gold potatoes. They're purple flesh, really yellow in the center. And like sometimes when they're in season, I'll buy like kind of all of what my vendor has. And that's just enough for us at the one store. So if you have 2-3 stores, it's like, you're not getting all that stuff. So I don't know, 5 years, hopefully still in business. I always have thoughts of like somebody coming and offering me like a massive amount of money. Would I take it? Probably. But then I'd start something else because I have no worries that I could do something else. Maybe not pizza, but similar, like food maybe.
You're changing to burgers and pasta as well, right?
No, we just do pasta. We do pizza and pasta. So there's another place downtown called Big Trouble Pizza. They're great guys. They do burgers and pizza. So we just do the fresh pasta. I'm trying to expand that as well. It hasn't gone as good as I hoped, but it's been, I don't think we marketed it enough. And we notice like when we market something, it sells.
I see it all the time on your feed, like on your Instagram. You're always posting about all these different types of specials, all these different types of pizzas.
It definitely helps, but it's like we only have so much time, right?
Are you trying to expand in anything else, like other than pasta, or are you trying to dip your toes in something different?
We're gonna
sandwiches.
Probably. Well, we do sandwiches at lunch.
Oh, that's what I seen. It was sandwiches.
Yeah,
I also seen that you guys also do something different.
Yeah, so we do that during the day, like with our slices. Same dough, so we use, and then we're just gonna get a freezer for the front, and we're gonna do frozen pizza. So our Roman style pizza, we're gonna freeze that, and we've tested out. It's actually very good. Lasagnas, that's my goal. Like ready-made pasta, like so you go home and just heat it up. But it's tricky with fresh pasta because it's harder to cook and then reheat. It doesn't taste the same as the structure's not there. Whereas like if you boil extruded dried pasta, it's a lot more texture.
Yeah. Every time like I bring it home, like any pasta that I bring home, and then you like microwave it, it's not taste the same. It's just so run down or something. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, there's a few techniques. Like there's a place out in the West End called Pasta Forever. So the lady that runs it, she's so she does fresh pastas. Like she does them sauced up and in containers, and you just go home and kind of warm them up. And I've tried it out. It's been really good. So I know it can be done. And I message her a few times. I'm like, this is the problem I'm having. My pasta's mushy after she gave me some tips on how to make it last longer. So, and it just has to do with like temperature of the pasta, temperature of the sauce. She's like, shock the pasta in ice water and then sauce it with cold sauce so it's not absorbing. I was like, duh, yeah, that makes sense.
Is there a pizza spot that you're not a fan of?
I tried Pizzaiolo or Pizzaiolo. Didn't love it. People said it's really good downtown, but one just opened just down the street from us. Didn't love it. Papa John's I don't like. Pizza Nova I like. What's the other one? Domino's. No, don't like. I'll eat it. I'll eat any pizza if I have to, but like pizza when it's fresh, it's not bad. Canada's Wonderland pizza, it's not bad because they make it fresh.
I think because everyone's walking too much, it's like, oh, I'm very hungry.
Yeah. It's funny. We got a supplier came by that it's called Beach Grove. I think Beach Grove Meats or something like that. And they used to supply exclusively to the Pizza, and a few other places. And they came by, they're like, here's some pepperoni to try out. And I wish you would have told me it was like the pizza pepperoni, because I put it on the pizza. I was like, this is pizza pepperoni. I'm like, I don't like that. I'm like, well, we ate the pizza anyways. And I was like, it's not horrible. The sauce and the dough and the cheese saved it. So, but yeah, I'll eat any pizza. But Pizza Nova's are probably our fave if we don't have ours. And then there's a lot of good smaller places downtown Toronto that are similar to me.
So my cousins, they bring me to pizza spots. Okay, like they'll say the best rated in Toronto.
Yeah.
And then the feedback I'll give them, they'll never bring me on a food trip ever again.
Places did you go?
So they brought me to
Batty
Batty, right? And then they gave me, what was it, the regular cheese, or I think that was the cheese.
Yeah.
And I tried it, brand new, fresh. I tried it. I'm like, tastes like a better Pizza Nova. These guys were shocked.
I've only had it once. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, these guys was like, what the heck? This is the best pizza I ate, and this is what you're telling me, right? I'm like, yeah, I guess. I'm like,
pizza's so like, even we find it's everything's so personal. Like, you make something, you think it's awesome, somebody else will be like, nah, didn't like it. That hurts a little bit. Not hurts, but it's just like, really, you don't like that? How can you not like that? But I just gotta chill out and be like, all right, it's not for everybody. That's why when people are like, oh, this place is opening up, or this place is better than it, I'm like, there's lots of pizza, lots of people. There's something for everybody.
Yeah, they'll never bring me. If I'm going to Batty Alleys or...
Where else have you gone?
That's the only place that they brought me.
We have one and done.
Oh, I went to Descendants.
You like it?
The Descendants wasn't that bad. That was pretty good.
I like
that was totally different from
it's
so like any other main street pizzas, right? So I was like, okay, it was really good. A different type of flavor kicks.
Yeah.
Right. It was really
Which
nice.
one did you have?
It was the what is it? I think the one with honey, and it's kind of, I think it was pepperoni as well. I don't know.
Like
It's been a
ricotta maybe on top.
I think so, but that one was really nice.
Yeah, their crust is nice, but I find that you can't eat too much of it because it's very like
heavy.
Yeah, it's light, but it's heavy. I don't know how to even like, it's got a lot of cheese on there, but I loved it when I've had it a few times, and my wife hated it. She's like, I don't like this kind of pizza. It's too thick. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, it's totally different.
Yeah.
Like square pizza was like, I was like,
okay. That's a Detroit style pizza where they make it in the high side pans and they get the cheese to go up the side. It's called the Crown. It's the pans used to be used as in Detroit for the auto workers. They used to put all their nuts and bolts and stuff in them. So that's why then I guess pizza makers got a hold of them locally and started making that.
Oh, wow.
And there's Windsor pizza. I don't know if you've heard about that. It's like they shred their pepperoni. They use canned mushrooms. And there's a couple other things, but there's a place called, I think, Ambassador Pizza in Toronto. It's or Windsor style pizza.
Okay, I should try them out and then give a review. But like, it's okay.
Reviews are tricky too. It's like, I can tell when like if we get a bad review, I always look at their other reviews. And like this one lady gave us like 1 star, and she's like, I can't remember what she said, but like her other reviews were of like Tim Hortons and McDonald's. I was like, that's why I just got to calm down. I'm like, my apologies. I'm like, come back. We'll make it again for you. And 90% of the time, they don't even respond to the response. I think it's just maybe somebody having a bad day, or I don't know. If I always tell my wife, I'm like, if we went somewhere and I didn't like it, I just wouldn't say anything, good or bad. I don't get people that have to put something up. And you get that, right? People that love to review, give their opinions.
Yeah, give their opinions.
It's like, nobody cares. And yeah, they're like, this one guy gave me like this whole friggin' like reviews. Like, when I was in Italy, this was it didn't taste as good as this, and the best pizza I had. I was like, oh my goodness. I'm like, it's pizza, man. I'm like, don't take it so seriously. I'm like, here, some people I've just given the money back. I'm like, you know what? I can't win with you. Come get your money. I'll give it to you. Take it.
Yeah, it's a hassle just to deal with them.
And it's just like, don't come back. Like that's, if they don't come back, I do not care. We have enough good customers that,
Yeah, the only time I check for reviews is like what they ate and if it looks good. And if they say, oh, yo, this is yummy, and I'm like, okay, so I'll grab that and I'll try that. That's the only time that I really look at a review.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'll probably just surprise myself. Like, what is this so out of the world?
Yeah.
I'll try that.
And it's tricky too, because like people that write reviews, good or bad, it's like they have strong opinions of things. Like a lady told me because I went to U of T for political science, and I can't remember if I volunteered at like for an election or for like a party. I can't remember what it was. And one of the ladies there are these people called political animals, and basically that's their thing. Like they're going to tell you what they think all the time, and you're not going to get the average person giving you their feedback. It's just people that are like hell-bent on like having their opinion heard. So it's not really like I said, your average person. It's people that have strong opinions on either way, but it's like, because most people are like, it was good.
Yeah, good, bad. That's
good, bad. It wasn't the greatest. I'm not going to go back. That's like how I feel. I'm like, it was okay, but do I feel like giving them like a 2-star review and saying, it wasn't that great? Because as a small business owner, like, like crappy reviews, people read them and they're like, oh, that's terrible. So I don't know.
I want to get back to your businesses, okay? I need one piece of advice for all the restaurant owners out there, or like people that are wanting to start a business in the food industry, or like starting a restaurant.
Spend as much money as you can, as you have. Just put it all in. Don't worry, it'll be fine. No, just go slow. Like that's when we started out. We only had, I think, like 7 or 8 pizzas on our menu. That's it. Yeah, just like take your time. You don't have to rush into everything. It'll come. Just do something that's good and do it well, and then slowly expand. That's the problem I had with my previous business. I did not. I just kind of did this, got this equipment, that equipment. So, and it's, because then you run yourself thin, and then the one thing that you're good at starts to suffer. Like, so Tim Ferriss, I heard he was talking to Kevin Rose on one of their podcasts, one of their end of year podcasts, and he said there's places in Japan that have 5 seats and they make coffee, and each coffee takes 45 minutes to come through. So how many people they can serve, like 25 in a day, but it's the best coffee you're going to have. So like doing one thing really well is better than doing a lot of things okay.
How was your first year running the pizza business?
It was COVID. So it's a little hard to judge, because we opened up I think we got our business license the week before they shut everything down, like all the city stuff. It was good. Like that opening my store, like I did pop-ups for a solid year before we opened the shop, and then I did them sporadically before then for like 2 years. So I don't know what would be the first year. So at the shop, it was good because people just wanted to support local. We were super busy. Our capacity wasn't that high. Some people complained because they couldn't get pizza. And we're like, I think we made like, at that point, we started doing like 40 pizzas a day, like maximum, which isn't a lot. And then people got frustrated and they didn't come back. Like we have people even now, they're like, oh, I tried during the pandemic. I could never get a spot, so I just didn't go back. And I'm like, ugh.
Is this all based on the marketing from your pop-ups, or social media, or
social media, marketing? That's like, I say like Instagram, Facebook are kind of that marketing, and just like having people come and try our pizza at events and stuff. Like my kids did like a school, like what do they have? It's like in the gymnasium, they had like vendors. So I just set up outside the back door and just had a table in there and just sold pizza slice for like $5.
Yeah, I remember like way back when in elementary school that you buy the pizza for like $1.50.
Yeah, Domino's one. Yeah,
I think Domino's or pizza or whatever it was, and then just eat that.
People are always like, you got to do that. And I'm like, first of all, we can't do that many pizzas at once, and they pay like schools don't have that much money, so like they're not gonna pay for pizza. They're not gonna do our pizza. So
yeah, that's insane. If you do that, that would be, I don't know, that'd be like the whole change everything. But then I don't know if your quality and
that's the thing.
Also has to be out there as well.
I was thinking the other day, like, because like all the stuff we use is like higher end stuff, like our pepperonis, Ezzo pepperoni, which is expensive. Flour is Caputo, which is expensive. The cheese is like insanely expensive, no matter what kind of cheese you get. Our sauce is not like, you can go to Costco and get like pre-made pizza sauces for like nothing. But we make ours, and I was like, do I make like a less expensive version of our pizza? But I'm like, no, I can't do that. But it's I can't remember what the question was. Sorry.
I said if you do one of those school pizzas, right, it'll be like a whole different direction, right? It'll like change everything.
I don't think we do it. It kind of goes against what we were about, like not mass producing like cheese pizzas or whatever. I know if the money's there, it's there, but at the same time, it's like, it's not pride in what we do. Like,
that's not worth breaking your back just to get filling the orders, right? You'd rather just give the quality you have right now, right, and then provide the best service you can.
That's the thing.
And then I bet you don't want to say no to your customers.
No, that's the hardest part.
So
when people walk in on a Friday and they're like, "Can I get 2 pizzas?" I'm like, either no, or if they come in at like 5 o'clock, it's like 8 o'clock, and they're like, "What are you talking about? I gotta wait that long?" I'm like, "It's Friday." I wish I could make more, like, but like you've seen our shop, it's not that big. And like putting the pizzas in the oven, we can do probably like 10 of them, but when they come out, we don't have that much space to cut them and everything, right? So we'll see, maybe.
Last question.
Yeah.
So let's say someone's watching this podcast right now. They skip to the end, right? What would you like to say?
About business?
To anything.
I know people say like, find something that you love and you never work. It is work, but if you like it, if you love it, it helps a lot going into work every day. Like people are like, "Are you sick of pizza?" I'm like, no, I still love it. Like I love eating it. I like making it, and like, just be nice too. Don't be a dick. Like that's like 90% of like having happy customers. It's just being like kind, even with staff too. Like it's not the easiest dealing with everybody. Everybody's got their own issues, but just like have empathy and like kindness towards people. And that goes a long way to them paying that back to you.
Thank you, Mark, for being on the podcast.
No problem.
Where can they find you?
You can find me Mark's Pizzas on Instagram, Mark's_pizzas on Instagram, markspizzas.com, and Facebook. I think it's Mark's Pizzas on Facebook. If you type it in. There's one in Buffalo. Don't go to that one. And there's one in Toronto. That's me.